Okay, today we're going to be cleaning the throttle body on a 2011 Suburban. You may have a code and this is why you're doing it, or you're just trying to help if you have a rough idle or a sluggish acceleration. This will really help that. Okay, so the tools you need to clean the throttle body: you're going to need a flathead screwdriver for all the air clamps. You're going to need a Torx T20 bit for doing the air filter box. A 10mm socket and extension for taking off, for disconnecting the battery and then taking off the bolts that hold on the throttle body. You're going to need throttle body air intake cleaner. You want to make sure you only use throttle body cleaner on the throttle body. And a roll of paper towels and maybe some gloves if you want. Okay, so the basic procedure for the throttle body is, since we're working with electronics, we're going to first remove the negative battery terminal so we don't have power going to anything. We're then going to remove this clip for the mass airflow sensor. We're going to unscrew these 4 torx T20 bolts. This whole thing will come off. We're going to loosen this clamp right here. And then we're going to remove this engine cover. And there's one more clamp in there I'll show you. We're going to take that off. This whole plastic thing will come off. Then we'll have access to the throttle body. There's 4 bolts around the throttle body that we'll take off. Take the throttle body out, clean it, put everything back together, and we should be good. Okay, now we're going to remove the negative battery terminal. Okay, so now we need to disconnect this mass airflow sensor clip right here. And the way you do that is you first got to remove this white piece and then remove the gray piece. So to remove the white piece, you push down on this little tab right here, and then you get like a little screwdriver and you just pry on the ends. Don't put too much pressure on these. Pry on the ends. And you'll feel it kind of click out. And then I think you can just take your hand, kind of wiggle it out. Okay, so that's the white piece. Put that off to the side. And then now, to get this gray thing off, there's a little tab under here, and I'm just using a little pick. There's a little tab under here that you press. There's no way I'm going to show you the camera, but you press it up. Press it up and then wiggle this out. And I can show you. That's the tab right there. That's the tab in there that you push up to get out of the way. We're going to go around, take off all the torque screws for the air filter. Now we just got to unscrew this air clamp right here so that we can take this part off to actually get to the mass airflow sensor. Everything unscrewed, we're just going to take this whole thing off. We've removed the whole air filter setup. Now we just got to get all this other ductwork out of the way. First thing we're going to do is pop this engine cover off. Just lifts right up. Okay, we got the engine cover off. Now we got to get this whole thing out. First thing we're going to do is loosen this clamp right here. And there's a PCV tube right here that you just, over there, that you just pop it out. Like that. I'm going to put a paper towel. And then I'll show you right here. It's connected to this upper radiator hose at this little grommet. So what you do is you just put a flathead screwdriver in and you just wedge it out. Okay, I've released this from the radiator hose. Now this whole thing should just lift up and come out like that. There it is. Okay, now we've got everything disconnected. This is our throttle. You can see it's pretty dirty, so I'm glad we're cleaning it. But first we've got to disconnect this electrical connector. And the way you do that is you push in this tab right there like we had on the mass airflow sensor. Pull this gray clip off, and then this whole black thing is going to come off. There's that gray piece. Okay, everything's disconnected from the throttle body. Now we're going to take off these 4 10mm screws right here. And right there, I think these 2 are studs actually. And then pull the whole thing off. You want to hold it as you remove this last bolt, because it's probably going to want to just drop right out. We'll see. Yeah. Okay, last bolt over here. And this whole thing is probably just going to slide. Yep, there it is. Alright, see the gasket stayed on there. We're going to just leave that on there. You can leave them on, you don't have to mess with them. We'll clean all that area up. This is the back side of the throttle body. I'm going to get this thing all cleaned up. Put it all back together. Okay, when we clean this, it's electronic, so you can't push on the butterfly valve, otherwise it'll reset how the computer thinks the throttle is positioned. So what you do is you spray your cleaner on a paper towel, you go in there, you wipe it all off, and then you just keep repeating until the whole thing's clean. So we're just going to take our throttle cleaner, spray a little on the rag, okay, our throttle body is dried up. Now we're just going to reinstall it onto here. I went ahead and wiped this with the paper towel just to make sure that there was no dirt or anything like that. Okay, now we're going to take the 10mm. I'm going to tighten them all evenly. So just get them like, we're going to just get them snug by hand. I'm going to give each one like a little half, just until it gets snug with the ratchet. Now I'm going to give all of them just a snug half turn and they'll be torqued. 1. Okay, should be good. Alright, now we've got the throttle body back on, nice and tight. Now we're just going to reinstall that ductwork. First thing we're going to do is put this clip back in, like that. And then remember there was that white tab that we used. This white tab, remember, just slides into there, like that. Oh, now it should be locked. Alright, good. Now we're going to put the ductwork back on. That's locked on. This is in. Now we need to reconnect this PCV tube. Just like that, snaps in. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this clamp right here. Make sure that it's pushed in on all sides. It's tight. Alright, now we need to install the whole mass airflow sensor kit with the air filter. Okay, I went ahead and I've cleaned the mass airflow sensor too, and I'll make another video about that. So the mass airflow sensor has been sitting and drying, and now we just are going to reinstall. Snaps in. Again, there's an air clamp right here. Just tighten it with the screwdriver. Then we have our mass airflow sensor electrical connector that just clicks in. You heard it click, hopefully. And now we have to put in the 4 torx bolts that hold the air filter in. Okay. Now we need to reinstall our engine cover. Put everything back together. Last thing we need to do is reconnect the battery, or the car's not going to start and you're going to think you've messed something up. Okay, and that's how you clean a throttle body on a 2011 Suburban. It's pretty much the same procedure on all GM trucks and SUVs. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And thanks for watching. I hope it helped you out.